Ni hao, this is Stephanie. Thank you for joining me here today. And today's theme is Staycation with the KIRF Collab members. And before I get started with this look, let me introduce to you the ladies that are being this collab. H Graceful, Accessorize Your Life, Julia. We have Pink Gives Me Life, Makeup Therapy. We have Faye Fletcher. We have Simply You Makeup, Creatively Miss Me, Glitzzygem, myself. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Stephanie, also known as glitzzygem. Thank you for joining me here today. For those who are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, also give my video a thumbs up. For those who are returning subscribers, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being huge supporters of my channel. Really do appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about China. In today's theme for this month's collab with the KIRF Collab members, my staycation theme was China. And the reason why I was intrigued with China was because I've been binge watching a lot of Chinese shows on an app that I have. It's a free app, and you're able to watch shows, of course, reading the subtitles. I'm actually showing you the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation. This comes with coconut milk and aloe extract, and it's vegan and formulated without talc, parabens, formaldehyde, phthalates, mineral oil, sulfate, and fragrance. It also blurs imperfections, evens out skin tone, sheer buildable coverage, instant and all day hydration. So I really fell in love with this foundation. This is, to me, I see it as a BB cream, but a BB cream slash foundation, because it does give me the coverage that I need, and it's really natural. And I love the name Skin Milk. So on the left side of the screen, you'll see a picture of a dish. It's like a bowl that has meat in it. It almost looks like a soup. And for those who are Hispanic or who grew up with a Hispanic or Mexican authentic background of food, could tell me what that looks like. And that's what it looks like here on the right hand side, which is menudo. Menudo is a Mexican style dish. Well, hold on. That bowl looks familiar. I have a bowl just like that, which is pretty interesting and just a coincidence because I have that exact same bowl. And so menudo is made up of beef tripe, white hominy. You can also add, it also comes with a lot of like a menudo mix. It's like a seasoning for menudo. And some people like to do it from scratch where they create their own seasoning for menudo. It's a really good dish for people who they say, I don't know, I don't know if it's a myth. Y'all can probably look it up to see if it's a myth or if there's a show like called Mythbusters maybe that can tell you menudo is good for hangovers. People with hangovers, growing up, you know, um, in the Hispanic heritage, a lot of people like to celebrate, and they celebrate with liquor, and then the very next morning they eat menudo to get rid of, the hangover. But it's also a very delicious delicacy, to eat even if you don't drink. If you're not a drinker, it's a really good delicacy. It's really delicious. I love menudo. It's really good. Um, so here on the left side, you'll see pictures of like dishes, of Chinese dishes. I love Chinese food. I see those little wontons or wonton or dumplings there in that picture that are very tempting and tasty. And they do their dishes with a lot of noodle dishes with chicken. They do a lot of meat dishes as well. It looks very delicious there. I just the tradition for the Chinese tradition is to have for dinners to have all sorts of dishes just set out on the table, and they just sit together, as a family, and they just pick from these dishes off the table and they eat. They all eat, just grab their food in their own little bowl, and it's just interesting to see how they eat. So, like I said, I learned a lot from these shows that I watch on this app. They're like Chinese drama shows, and I've learned a lot from their culture, and that's what really intrigued me to want to travel to China. So I think the staycation idea was a very good idea for me to familiarize myself with China and looking up information about it and about their culture. So on the food, on the Chinese food aspect, um, I will read a little bit on from online of the food, but I just can't help to see how my skin looks really nice using this foundation. It's really good. I really do like my, it really, my skin turned out with that foundation. You know, I'm gonna follow along with my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just telling you this right now because I'm gonna continue talking about more about China, educating you more about their food and, um, you know, what they eat and stuff. So, yeah. So I did follow it with my Tarte Shape Tape, which is one of my favorite shape tapes because not only is it a concealer, but it also comes on like a foundation. You're able to put it on, and as you saw that I didn't have to apply my makeup with, you know, my foundation with a kabuki brush or a sponge, which I really like because I just use my fingers and it's very, to me it's a BB cream slash foundation and I really loved it. I can't stress enough, I'm sorry, I can't stress enough of how much I love this foundation, but I also can't stress enough of how much I love this concealer. It's one of my favorite concealers. And it also gives you full coverage in areas that you need, you know, coverage. It really does, you know, blend out a lot of, you know, pigmentation, you know, color correcting, and it's wonderful. I really do love this foundation. To be honest with you, I really do. It's one of my favorites. As going along with the foods, I'm just going to read a little bit off of this site called Ethnomed online. If you want to read where I'm reading, it's the titles that I'm reading off, you know, for this food. Um, the phrase is not ethnomed, but fashion is in Europe, living is in America, but eating is in China. So the phrase is a testament on the popularity of Chinese food around the world. Food is an important part of daily life for Chinese people. Chinese not only enjoy eating but believe eating good food can bring harmony and closeness to the family and relationships. Shopping daily for fresh food is essential for all Chinese cooking, and I do agree on that when I watch these Chinese drama channels, shows. They do pick out the freshest ingredients, and they do really, they know how to select really good fresh um, foods, you know, for their cooking. All right, here I'm showing you my Kylie, excuse me, my Kylie bronzer. If my voice breaks in and out, is because I just have allergies going on right now. And this is in the shade khaki, and this is a bronzer, and this is what I used for my contour. It's a very light, and so I find it fitting just for contouring my skin. And I just like the way it gives me a result of the contour, even though it's really light and it's a barely there minimal type of contouring using this Kylie one. I don't hardly gravitate towards this bronzing powder because I said it's really light for my skin tone, but you can still see it, you know, once, you know, being applied. And so I just felt like it's very suiting for the the makeup that I'm about to put on because China, if I'm gonna talk more about their makeup here in a little bit, but here on the left hand side you're gonna see Beijing. It's a picture of Beijing, which is the capital of China, and I may read you a little bit more about Beijing. So now it has, with over 21 million residents, Beijing is the world's most populous national capital city, as well as China's second largest city after Shanghai. It is located in northern China and is governed as a municipality under the direct administration of the State Council with 16 urban, suburban, and rural districts. Beijing is mostly surrounded by Hebei province, with the exception of neighboring Tianjin to the southeast. Together, the three divisions form the Jingji megalopolis and the national capital region of China. Here I'm showing you my Ulta Beauty blush, and I'll be using the Cherry Blossom shade inside this blush. And it's only fitting because when I think of China or Japan, I know Japan and China are two different places. Um, Cherry Blossom is one of the flowers that are very well. And in Japan, cherry blossoms and lotus, the lotus flower is very popular as well. So, reading more a little bit about Beijing. Beijing is a global city and one of the world's leading centers for culture, diplomacy, if I'm saying it correctly, diplomacy. There it goes. I think I said it a little better there. I'm sorry. Politics, finance, business and economics, education, research, language, tourism, media, sports, science, technology, and transportation. Some of the things, there's some things here that I'm really not interested in, but just mention them to with you for you guys. It says, as a mega city, Beijing is the second largest Chinese city by urban population after Shanghai, like I mentioned. It's home to the headquarters of most of the China's largest state-owned companies and houses the largest number of Fortune Global 500 companies in the world, as well as the world's four biggest financial institutions of total assets. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking about Beijing there. As y'all saw, I had a picture come up on there, and they look like little huts. Those huts are actually, they're not little, they're actually tall, and they're buildings that you'd find in China, the capital of China, in Beijing. You'll find those buildings just on the side of the road. They're like in the city. So just think of the city as a big area like downtown. If you go to downtown in your area, you're gonna see a lot of, like, if you have historical landmarks, you have stores with fabric, stores with, that you can go buy clothing in. Well, the same thing here with China and Beijing and those hut looking, the architecture on that hut to me was very intriguing, and I really liked the design of those huts. Before going any further, I did want to mention I am using my Ofra Cosmetics pencil in the shade Universal, and I am using my Gleam brow gel, the shade Black, or shade 5-8 Ebony or Black. But going on with the huts, or those buildings, those you will find them, like I said, along the streets of the capital. And the capital is very lively around certain seasons, certain times of the year. They're very lively. You see people in the streets selling candy corn haul, and that's actually like corn husk candy. And China has all sorts of vegetables and fruits that you cannot find here in the U.S. So when you see a lot of foods that are served that you see in China, are you're gonna be wondering, what they are, but they're really good. As far as health wise, they always think about eating desserts that don't have too much, that are not too much in sugars, that don't have too much sugars in them. So they think about more about fruits and vegetables they can turn into like a sugary sweet snack. Right now I'm applying my Ulta Beauty primer. It's a tinted primer in the shade Champagne, and it's like a matte primer, so it's just mattes down into my eyelids. So this is one of my favorite primers that I have worn for quite a while already, and it's almost panned out. So I'll be using a new eyeshadow primer shortly after that. But going back to, yeah, the city of China, Beijing, in the capital, is very lively in certain times around the year, and you see a lot of people just, they have festivals, they have lantern festivals, they have all sorts of festivals, and people wear masks, and it's very lively, and they have lanterns. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Like, the sight to see in China is very beautiful when it comes to these types of events. And then they also have in the capital those homes, or those huts, they're called manors. So a lot of families also have homes or manors in the capital that look like those huts, with the architectural design that looks like a hut. They're called manners. So I thought that was really nice that even in the city, people with a high ranked, social status can actually have a home in the city where they go and they stay there in the city, a certain part in the city of the capital. They it's very different. Their the style of living or the way of living. Here in the United States we have our suburbs, we have our city, but we have our own little destination where to go to our homes. Now their destination, they have manners all over the country, and even in different countries and different cities, and whichever city you travel to, you always have a home. Oh, you will always have a hut, just like the ones you see in the capital. That's the capital style, though. Uh, in the picture that I had showed you, that's the capital style. Now, I did want to go over the makeup. It's minimalist makeup that they use for the Chinese women. As far as Teen Vogue goes online, is this is more of like a trend type of site that I actually saw. It says like any beauty trend, you can gauge its longevity through TikTok. Some makeup looks are only of its moment, others are here to stay. Do-yon makeup is what it's called. Do-yon makeup falls in the latter category. On TikTok, the hashtag has over 1.3 million views, and you've probably seen at least one or two videos land on your FYP. I don't know what FYP means, but it has to do with this trend. Also, a lot of people they compare the Do-yon makeup to the Korean beauty, because as opposed to the Korean beauty, Do-yon makeup uses more glitter. And in my eye look, I'll be using the shimmer that's in that palette, which has more glitter in it. So, um, so I'm using more of a Do-yon style of makeup in my look today. And it embellishes your natural features while still letting them shine through. So, Do-yon makeup embraces a softness that's a direct juxtaposition to the other popular makeup trends we've been seeing in recent months. Mm. Do-yon, Do-yon makeup, which is the literal opposite end of that spectrum, it's the opposite of bleached brows, cool tones, and muted brown color, structured lip look, and the Do-yon makeup, which is the literal opposite end of that spectrum. So it's just serving a purpose in the beauty world right now and answering a call that people are looking for. Chanel tells Teen Vogue, which is the website I'm reading this off of. So what is Do-yon makeup? Do-yon makeup is a popular Chinese makeup style that's just now entering the mainstream. It typically uses shimmery eyeshadow, like I mentioned, pigmented pink blushes, like I did with my Cherry Blossom blush, and blurred lips. Named after the Chinese version of TikTok, the Do-yon makeup look itself is fairly simplistic and a successor to popular beauty trends we're already familiar with, and that highlights a skin first minimalistic style. All right, so I do want to read a little bit more about the accessories that they use, the head accessories called Hanfu accessories. Hanfu accessories refers to the various forms of fashion, accessories and self adornments used and worn with Hanfu throughout Chinese history. Hanfu consists of many forms of miscellaneous accessories such as jewelries, ribbons, shawls, scarves, and handheld accessories. They have jewelry, belt girdles and sashes, neck and shoulder accessories and ribbons, wearable accessories, cosmetics, and hand food makeup. So their jewelry, the Chinese jewelry, features Chinese symbols and iconic graphic and auspicious symbols and images which are themselves rooted in Chinese culture. On the left hand side, you're going to see on the screen a picture of the Great Wall, which is another touristic place a lot of people like to go visit, which is the Great Wall of China. And read more about the Great Wall of China. It is a series of fortifications that were built across the historical northern borders of ancient Chinese states and Imperial China as protection against various nomadic groups from Eurasian steppe. Several walls were built from as early as the 7th century BC, with selective stretches later joined by Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Little of the Qin wall remains. Later on, many successive dynasties built and maintained multiple stretches of border walls. The best known sections of the wall were built by the Ming Dynasty. So that's a little bit about that, about China, about the Great Wall of China. Right now I'm using my Colored Rain highlighter in the shade Lavender Dreams. And I love this highlighter because it's very subtle, but at the same time, you can actually see the color, you know, the lavender shade. And I think this is the perfect shade I chose for this look to create this minimalistic do yawn makeup look for you guys. I really had fun creating this makeup look for my staycation and watch a lot of my, you know, Chinese or Asian shows on my Viki app. That is the app that I see a lot of my free Chinese shows, and I learned a lot about their culture through their drama channels, and it just I just was intrigued by their culture. It just opened my eyes and broadened my eyes about how different their culture is as opposed to here in the United States. Here on the left side, you're going to see a lot of the dresses that a lot of the ladies wear, a lot of the ladies, the females in China wear. You know, you can see the like real soft colors. There's one bold, and it's usually blues, pinks, yellows, greens, you know, but pastel colors mostly. And here's my finishing look, you guys. So, what do you guys think? Do you like the headpiece? This is actually, it actually has two, four, five, uh, I think there's five pieces for the headpiece. And then you have the earrings. So right now I'm showing you what I used on my lips. I used my Kylie Jenner in the shade Moody Queen lip gloss, but not before I put on my lip liner from Jessica Liebensky in the shade Mocha, and then I also had the LA Colors shade Mauve, and it's the Hydrating Cream lipstick. And so then I put the lip gloss on top of that, and I'm using my Barbie doll lashes, you know, to create this nice natural eyelash look or lift, you know, to my eyes. And then for my bottom waterline, I use my Elizabeth Moth eyeshadow pencil. And then the top lash line, I used my Marc Avon dark brown eyeliner, liquid eyeliner on the edge. It's one of my favorites because of the brush tip. Then I used the Bambi Eye Mascara. This mascara, I'm telling you, this is very, it's waterproof. Like how waterproof. When they say waterproof, I mean waterproof. Okay, I'm showing you that there's two pieces there that, you know, I thought it was going to be a little complicated putting it on, but I actually figured it out how to put on the headpiece. And I'm really happy and very proud of myself in putting this headpiece together. So I'm about to show you the back side of my hairstyle. So there goes my hairstyle. I pinned it up. I have very long hair, so that's the reason I was able to make it into a huge, nice bun hairstyle, at the same time you're able to see the back of the headpiece. Really did like, and the earrings just complement the headpiece. Сесене Katsa.